I want us to share bank accounts. I want to have a joint bank account with you.
Brian,
The mother of my child, I moved in with you. We're starting a life together. I trusted you to be the breadwinner, and I'm the stay-at-home dad. I should trust you with my money and vice versa.
alright, I understand you feel bad, and I should understand that it's hard for you, that you've never experienced relinquishing your financial control to anyone. But you don't need to we don't need to share a bank account for us to trust each other, you know?
I know how much I hurt you by doubting you as the breadwinner and questioning your purchases, and I shouldn't have done that. So me sharing a bank account with you is the only way that I can think of surrendering my faith into you as the person financially running this household.
I know, but how about this? How about you just trust me? How about when I buy something you don't freak out and think that I'm recklessly spending? Or just know that the partner you chose is not fiscally irresponsible. I know what I'm doing. You know, I don't... The way you can show me that you trust me is by trusting me.
I think I owe it to you though. Just let me do this for you. Alright? Like, I'm tired of being afraid of things, and yeah, I've never relied on another person, for money. And of course I'll still be making a little bit, but just let me do this for you. Just let me show you that, I'm not your ex-husband. I trust you, and things run differently when we're together. It's not like your marriage.
Can I at least think about it? My bank account is not sacred to me, but it's personal for everything that I've gone through. So for me to share an account with you, it's a big deal kind of for me. So can I just think about it?
Of course. I just want you to know I trust you with money, and I should never have talked down to you or mistrusted you or any of that. It was stupid and fear-based, and I love you. That's all that matters.
Can you give me a non-toxic answer as to why you feel that way? I don't know if you're going to consider it toxic or not, but the way I see it as your mother, he wants to have a joint bank account with you because it's another form of control. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean that in a toxic way. I just think he has another way to keep tabs on you. I don't think he's doing it for control, Mom. I think he's requesting it because he wants to give up control. I don't think it's easy for him to let me take the steering wheel financially, He's never done that before with anyone. I'm biased as your mom. I am. And what I hear when you say things like that is that you're giving him excuses. And maybe, I don't know how he asked you to open a joint account, but he probably smooth talked you. Don't forget how he was accusatory with all your spending, you have this tendency to forget everything bad a man does to you, but just yesterday he was accusing you of overspending and being bad as the breadwinner. I'm not giving him excuses. I came to you about this for your opinion, and you came to me for my opinion, right? And I'm giving it to you. And it seems like half the time when you ask my opinion and then I give it, you get upset. I wouldn't have given you an unsolicited opinion about this, So you think that him wanting to have a joint bank account with me means he just wants to control the finances in his own way, but, I would have access to his money too. And just because we share a bank account, that doesn't mean he'll have any power over me. Does that make sense? Sharing a bank account doesn't give him any control over anything. Yeah. I know it seems crazy, but he can log into your bank account and see everything you're buying, and then he's going to spot a problem, and it's going to spark an argument, and that's just his way of keeping control of the territory. That's the way I see it. Based on your previous arguments, based on his history, can you blame me? Yeah, but, I don't spend on... What am I spending on, a few hair care products for myself, some makeup sometimes, a shirt here and there. Everything else is for Junior. So everything that I buy, he sees anyway. You know, so let him see it on a statement or something. Well, look, if you've made up your mind, I have nothing left to say. I gave you my opinion, and my opinion's not going to change. I do hope for the best, and I hope you guys don't argue about this, but I can foresee this causing a lot more problems. I haven't made up my mind yet, okay? I just guess I wish you could just be approving of something for once, ever. I wish you could just root for us sometimes and just be happy, like, oh, we're starting a life together and now we're gonna share a bank account, we have a kid. You know, like, everything with Brian you're so against, yet with Joey, we could have said we were moving to the moon and you would have been like, okay, you can make that work. Joey was your first marriage and he portrayed himself very differently than who he really was. And I was just happy that my daughter was married and living a nice life. Little did I know behind closed doors, until those doors were ripped down and I could see everything, things were awry. And it was my mistake as a mother to not sniff that out early. So I failed you in that point, which is why I don't plan on failing you right now with Brian. If I sense anything is awry with this man and he's not who he says he is, then I'm gonna speak up, because I'm not gonna make the same mistake as a mother again. Alright, I didn't mean to bring you down in terms of being my mom, but it's just hard sometimes when everything I come to you with about Brian, you treat him like he's a complete stranger, but he was the most caring person during my pregnancy in the delivery room. Before that, he loves me, and I know he loves me unconditionally. Sure, he has his shortfalls sometimes, and he acts on emotion and fear, but I remind myself that he's been through things too, and I just wish you would do the same. Well, that's all hunky-dory, but I just think opening a bank account with him is going to cause more problems than needed. And I think it's going to just lead to an even bigger issue in your life. Or we open a bank account together and nothing happens. Because that scenario exists too.
I know Brian very well, and truthfully, he loves you with all his heart. So if you're asking my opinion on whether or not you should have a joint bank account, I don't think you have anything to fear. The only reason that he was accusatory in terms of what you were spending is because he's a new stay-at-home dad. He's never dealt with having anyone control his finances, and sure, he could have bit his tongue, but I would give him the benefit of the doubt.
My mom tends to believe that Brian just wants to have a bank account with me to have control over me.
Well, your mom is your mom, and she doesn't know Brian like I know Brian, and she doesn't know Brian like you know Brian. You know his heart. And sure, there are going to be moments where he may distrust you, but I think we all have those moments in relationships. I know we're not comparing, but he's not Joey. He's the furthest thing.
Yeah, but I guess I'm leaning more towards trusting him. I don't want to fight distrust with distrust.
The only thing I'll say is the last time you shared a bank account was with Joey, and you have grown accustomed to having your own money and no one touching it. So just like there was an adjustment period with Brian becoming a stay-at-home dad, I'm sure there's going to be an adjustment period to having him charge a debit card connected to your account. You're going to see purchases that, well, may annoy you.
Brian doesn't really shop. He's like me. He doesn't shop for himself, really. I can't see him recklessly using my money. And, you know what? Maybe us sharing an account will make us fiscally more responsible.
Whatever the case, I have faith in both of you.
So I have a bit of bad news.
Aliens are real?
No. So I called the bank and everything. They have no problem putting you on my account. And my account's in good standing and everything. But I did check with Family Court. And apparently there's a provision in our custody agreement that says I can't add anyone to my bank account if it's receiving funds for child support.
Of course. That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, but I was thinking we could just open our own account, like a separate account.
If we opened our own joint account, you would still have your regular bank account, no?
Yeah, but that would be the most active account. I'll switch everything over to that, but you would still have your own bank account too. We'll just have our own.
No, that would defeat the purpose. And it just sucks. Then we can't just open a bank account together, that even your ex-husband affects that.
Alright, well, for the 50 millionth time, it's not like we met in college and we were never with anyone else. Like, I'm walking into our relationship with a whole past. And coming with that past is some restrictions that don't make things feel normal, but I don't see this as a big deal. It's a stupid bank account.
Alright, well, I'm allowed to be a little upset regardless, okay? Because it's just everything that we want to do together, I have to get permission from your ex-husband on a family court. All I wanted to do was open an account with you.
I don't understand why a bank account and having a joint with me is such an importance to you. It does feel a little controlling.
Controlling? Who said that? Your mom? Your mom thinks I'm controlling because I want to have a bank account with you?
Yeah, she did warn me that you would be controlling about my bank account. Like, she sees it as, it doesn't matter.
You know what I often try not to critique you about? It's how easily influenced you are by people. Whether it's your fans or Nanny Agatha, your mom. It's just the second they say something, you form an opinion and you run with it. But you're with me. Yeah, you're listening to your mom. Because she thinks that I'm controlling, even though I have proved time and time again that I'm not.
No, I'm not listening to everyone but you. I just don't understand why this issue is so important to you.
Maybe I just don't want to ask you for money. You ever thought about that?
What do you mean you don't want to ask me for money? I mean, I'm the one... Is that why you wanted a bank account with me, so that you could just charge things and not, ask because you feel emasculated for asking?
I'm happy to be a stay-at-home dad. I love it, okay? It has its ups and downs, and I'm 100% okay with you working and making a lot of money. But I feel emasculated asking you for money. There's just something about it that I can't wrap my head around.
If I'm the breadwinner, you're making less money than me. I'm not saying that to be antagonistic or anything, but if that's the case, and you would occasionally have to ask for money, why does that make you feel emasculated? It's 2024.
Miranda, just try to see from my perspective for a minute. From 16, I've earned my own money. I've never had to ask anyone for anything, and now, anytime I want a bottle of water, I have to... Can you give me $1? It's just... I can't do that.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't have been a stay-at-home dad if all of this stuff bothers you so much. Because I never once looked at you as less of a man or anything like that. I don't care about these things. If you came to me and said, hey, I need $25 for this or that, you think I look at you differently?
Just can't do it. It's hard for me. I'm alright if you make more money than me. But asking you for money, it's just not what I'm built to do.
Well, then we really have to consider hiring a nanny or daycare or my mom, whatever, because we are not having these discussions anymore. If it makes you feel so emasculated to have me earn the most money in the house, then that's what needs to be done.
I like taking care of you, Miranda. I just like taking care of you, that's all. Not used to being the one with my hand out.
Okay. Well, I didn't get into a relationship to have a male nanny take care of me. I got into a relationship to have a partner. An equal partner. And if you see it as me earning more money makes you a lesser partner, I don't know what to say.